Hey guys, it's Leo Stargazer. I'm here with our daily tarot reading. Today is Thursday, August 17th. And my intention for today's reading is new boundaries. So if you remember yesterday, we were talking about freedom. And throughout the week, we've been having this idea, this image of clearing away the clouds that may be keeping us from continuing our journey the way we want to. Well, with that freedom that hopefully you gained yesterday, or at least you got an idea of, with that freedom, you still are going to need some boundaries. If we're just totally free-flowing and there are no guardrails, we can tend to go a little wild, a little off course, even with our best intentions. We want to be as free as we can be. We want to embrace freedom no matter what, first and foremost. But there's nothing wrong with trying to put up a few little guardrails, a few boundaries, especially fresh ones around your new situation, in order to keep you going in the direction you want to go. So I want to focus on that today. I want to focus on new boundaries, not to rein in our freedom, not to cloud anything about that. We need to be as free as we can be. Just today, maybe think about and maybe put in place some new boundaries. And hopefully the tarot can guide us with that. Let's check it out. Okay, so I shuffle my deck as usual. I'm doing the thinking, feeling, doing spread, like I always do for daily readings. And today, with the intention of new boundaries, as I'm shuffling, I'm thinking about the direction I want to head in and where I can protect myself on that journey. So thinking about how I can be guided and protected the best. Not settling on anything, guys, while I shuffle, just thinking about it. Let's do that together. Okay, so we have taken deep breaths, we have centered, we have thought about boundaries, and we are ready with the deck in unity to draw our first card. The first card in the thinking position is the 10 of Swords. If you remember yesterday, in feeling, we drew the 10 of Swords reversed. And the way I interpreted it there was that it was this idea of cleansing ourselves from negative emotions. Maybe we don't do that completely, but we do it enough to be free enough. Well, today it's upright in thinking. So here it's saying that where maybe we weren't successful at clearing out negative energy, where we did let go of some negativity but hold on to some, where we did let go of negativity but not banish it, where we just still can see it, where we left negativity in our line of sight, that negativity is in our thoughts today. So if you totally cleared out all that and you feel positive and free as a bird, then this 10 does not apply to you. But I'm sure some of us held on to something, and what that something is on our minds today. Use your intuition to lock into that today. Take your time. Take moments throughout the day. If something's bothering you mentally, think about if that's tied to some kind of negative emotions and think about letting that go. In terms of boundaries though, new boundaries, I think whatever was left over, we probably need to protect. We need to create a boundary to protect ourselves from that. I think whatever negative thoughts and feelings we still hold on to today, after our freedom journey of yesterday, whatever those are, I think analyzing those and thinking about those and identifying them, we need to identify them as the ones we need to create the boundaries around. Either around or from. I would say from. I'd say get those negative thoughts and feelings into a different direction and then boundary yourself from those specifically. So if there's a specific thought that always nags you recently, if there's a specific if there's some specific negativity you have a hard time getting rid of, the new boundary intention today might be around keeping you from that. But let's check out the rest. In the feeling position, the card that I draw is the 10 of Pentacles. So we drew the Ten of Pentacles a couple days ago, I think, in the doing position. Well, now it's in feeling. And in feeling, it takes on a slightly different tilt to me. The Ten of Pentacles in feeling is showing me that we are being called to embrace the hidden, almost intuitive meaning in ordinary life, in the ordinary things. We are being called to engage with and almost pull out of ordinary things hidden messages. Maybe it's the work that we've been doing this week. Maybe it's the rebellious, freedom-oriented, cloud-clearing stuff we've been trying to do this week. The obstacles we have overcome together this week. I think the Ten of Pentacles in feeling is saying, you've done that. You are ready to perceive hidden meaning, intuitive understanding of ordinary life, of ordinary feelings. When we go back to the Ten of Swords, though, in thinking, maybe the messages that we are meant to pull out are regarding those negative thoughts that we've had a hard time releasing. I think there's maybe hidden meaning in ordinary life, in more mundane thoughts and more mundane feelings. There's moments in that where if we pause, we take moments of gratitude with that, and then we try to tap in intuitively during our meditation, during our engagement with the world around us. If we take those moments to find those intuitive messages and tap into that, I think we'll be able to set up the boundaries we need around these negative thoughts and emotions that we're having a hard time getting rid of. So we have been, I think the Ten of Pentacles here is saying we've been successful with setting up boundaries around our ordinary day-to-day. So own that. If you don't feel successful there, find where you are, because this card is saying that you have had success there in boundarying your day-to-day life. In that day-to-day life now, the next step is being called for. You need to tap into some of the hidden meaning in that in order to free yourself, create even wider boundaries and guardrails around those negative emotions to keep moving forward on the journey, which is the ultimate goal. And to keep and maintain that freedom, a free approach. Let's go to doing though, and hopefully doing can synthesize a little bit of this for us. So in doing, the card that I draw is the Devil reversed. Okay, instantly liberating, instant freedom. If it's not freedom incarnate, if it's not the actual synthesis of freedom, the Devil reversed is showing that we are going to be seeking to liberate ourselves. And I think because of the spread we've gotten so far, specifically liberate ourselves from those negative thoughts and feelings we haven't been able to purge yet. And I think the way to do that, the way to self-liberation, is found in the Ten of Pentacles, finding hidden meaning and gratitude for what's already around us, the world we've already created. Finding hidden meaning and intuitive messaging in that is going to help us get rid of those negative emotions, boundary ourselves from them, and then liberate ourselves. Once we create boundaries, we can be liberated. The Devil reversed here, though, says you want to be liberated. You are being called to liberate yourself. And yesterday was all about freedom, so you know how to. It's just whatever was left over of negativity has got to be shut off. It's got to be boundaried. So let's look at the Lenormand, and let's hope that the Lenormand shows us how we can do that. I know the Lenormand will show us something. Hopefully it's a clear message on how to liberate ourselves in a boundaried way. Okay, so I am shuffling my Lenormand deck. I am bringing it all back to boundaries, though. I'm still thinking about freedom, though. The Devil reversed is like, you better be free. And so I'm going to be thinking about freedom and boundaries simultaneously with this shuffle. Do that with me while we take some deep breaths, bring ourselves to a center, and we'll be back on the other side. Okay, so we've brought the deck from chaos into unity. We're thinking about boundaries and freedom, and we're ready to draw our pair. The first card in the pair that I draw is the snake. The snake can be deception, but the snake can also be desire. The snake can be misguidedness, being guided in the wrong direction. It can also be liberating by the revelation of truth. Seeing the devil imagery show up in this spread, you can't not make the connection, I guess. I definitely am. But the devil in our spread is reversed, and he's about liberation. So the snake could go that way. Let's see the second card right away and see, though, before we get too contemplative on that. Okay, the second card that I draw is the mountain. So the snake and the mountain. If you remember yesterday, I drew the mountain as well, but the mountain was in conjunction with clouds. So it's this idea of like an unclear, unknown obstacle. Today, it's the snake and the mountain. So the idea that either some revelation of knowledge or some deception unraveled, either one of those two things will be creating an obstacle for us. Potentially a delay. Definitely will be creating and putting in front of us something we'll have to struggle to overcome. But that's okay. We know how from yesterday to be free and expect and anticipate and overcome obstacles. We know how to clear the clouds of obstacles. We've been doing that all week. We've been on this journey of review. We know what we're doing. We've been in it together. But here, it's the snake and the mountain. So either the obstacle that's created is going to be, it's going to be liberating either way. I want to say that. I'm seeing that regardless, we're going to be liberated either way. But the snake and the mountain here, I think, is hinting towards, again, our intention, our new boundaries. Either setting up the boundary is going to be a challenge that will maybe reveal something hidden. Sometimes when you boundary something, you're able to see more. Maybe it's the if we keep things boundaried, we're able to tap into the hidden messages of the world around us, like that Ten of Pentacles. Maybe it's something like that, and maybe the hidden knowledge in that is being revealed to us by the snake, but that it may be difficult to overcome that because setting up boundaries is never easy. It could be that the boundary setting is the obstacle, potentially. Or it could be that some kind of deceptive force, a deceptive person, some kind of someone who's trying to guide us in the wrong direction, maybe a part of us that's guiding us in the wrong direction, where we think we're going to be free, but we're actually being taken somewhere else. We have to have our eyes open for that. I think maybe that's where the mountain applies, that's the obstacle. But let's synthesize. Devil reversed in doing is saying we're seeking liberation. It's called for. 10 of Pentacles in feeling. We need to tap into hidden messages. 10 of Swords in thinking. The 10 of Swords is reminding us of that negative stuff that we haven't been able to boundary ourselves against. So it brings us back to boundaries. All of that is to show us that if we correctly boundary ourselves against the things that we are, no matter how well we've done clearing the clouds, no matter how free we have allowed ourselves to be, no matter how much we're looking to the future, in order to tap in to the energy, to the truth and essence of the world around us, in order to continue moving forward, in order to continue to being free, in order to continue to be free, we need to boundary ourselves from the things that are nagging at us. We need to boundary ourselves from the things and the thoughts and the feelings in particular that we cannot get rid of. If we can't get rid of them, they won't go away, then we need to create boundaries from them so that we can find hidden messages around us, so that we can find hidden knowledge and then decide for ourselves how to overcome overcome that. Sometimes it's hard to find out new things about the world. Sometimes it's a challenge. But if we can do all of that, if we can keep boundaried, we can zone in the right direction. We can overcome that obstacle. We can engage with those hidden truths, and then we can be fully liberated. But we have to make sure that we're boundarying ourselves off from negative emotions that we just struggle to get rid of. If they won't go away, then we'll keep them boundaried. But focus always on the future. Focus on moving forward. Trust you can overcome these things. Don't get led astray, and you won't, because you'll be boundaried from all that. Focus on liberation. That's what's being called for today. If we can boundary off these negative thoughts and feelings, we will be liberated. Even if it's a challenge, liberation's worth it. I'll see you tomorrow.